My name is Chris Hold and I work here at Fairstead House School. I'm a Form 4 teacher as well as being the deputy head of the school. I absolutely love the teaching aspect. I love being in front of the children, and it harkens back to kind of my initial feelings of I need some life around me, because you get such an incredible buzz when you have these ideas that spark with the children, and you can see faces lighting up around the classroom. My parents emigrated to the States with my dad to do some work, and it ended up that I did a lot of my education in the States. My parents are both from Denmark, and my father got a position with a company in Seattle, and that's where I had my kind of teenage years in Seattle. My father's an architect, and he designs houses. It was predominantly residential housing that he did. And my mother was a dental nurse until we came along, and then she stopped and she was just a mum. Education forms quite a big part in my family life, so it was always an expectation that we went off to university. Because I enjoyed science and maths at school, I was set on wanting to do a science degree. And when you do a science degree, it was a variety of options, go off to be a doctor, or go off and teach science or do something in a laboratory. And that's where my hopes had lied, to go into a laboratory and do research. When I left university with my degree, I worked for a very good company that was doing cancer research at the time. I worked there for just under a year, and one of those moments came on me that this is not going to be the right place for me. We quite often got live samples, living from tumours and that sort of thing, that we had to then bioassay. And I can remember getting a sample in, and it was a 23-year-old male who had obviously died from this sort of cancer. And it was just something in that, and I thought, I want life around me. I want living around me, and realised that teaching, you couldn't find a livelier bunch of people to be around than the children in the classroom. So I returned to university, did my year PGCE, my teaching practice, and kind of hit the ground running as a teacher. And at that point I decided that we were going to emigrate to the UK, and I stumbled in onto a teaching job, really. It was a school that was undergoing a restructuring, and they needed a one-year temporary teacher to cover a year 7 class group. My wife had seen the job advertised the day before I set off from the States. The day we arrived, I picked up the application form, filled it out that afternoon, and then on the Friday, that was a Wednesday, on the Friday I went for a job interview and got the job. And it was just a lot of chance, a lot of good luck, I think, that I had landed that job, because that was the start. My wife's English. We were pen friends from when we were 13, back in the days when you had to write letters and not emails. And over the years, that friendship just grew to the point where Barbara came across to see me for a Christmas holiday when we were in our early 20s. I came back to England, and love bloomed and skyrockets flew. So my wife and my 2 daughters, we tried to spend time together doing things as a family. When we get the chance, we like going traveling, do some walking, that sort of thing. And I also relax by either being in the garden or being in the kitchen. I love cooking, so I spend my relaxing time doing that.